This week, we react to some vegan fried chicken, wonder if the American Heart Association may give bad advice, and Dewey's going to defend some of his truth bombs. Let's get into it. Don't be nervous, sir. Don't be nervous. I'm just going to ask you to defend all the truth bombs you've been saying lately.
Fucking A, let's do it. Let's do that first.
Nope, it's last. That's the climax. First, we have to make fun of some vegans because it's just my favorite thing to do. I saw this video and it just made me incredulous. Okay, so first of all, look at that. Did you even know that existed?
Fake bones? No.
Faux bones.
No.
Okay, what does it say? Revolutionizing the plant-based meat industry. So they have fake, looks like, something my dog ate a rabbit or something, and this is what you find left over a couple years later in the backyard.
Right.
So we're going to watch this. I saw this in the Carnivore Facebook page. They posted this video of a vegan making fried chicken.
It looks like wood.
I know, right? God knows what's in it, by the way. Actually, you know what? We should look that up.
Probably is wood.
Faux bones. Okay, faux bones. World's first vegan bones.
Oh, it is plant-based. Well, wood would be plant-based.
Right. The faux chicken bone. Here it is. 8-pack. $20.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Being
vegan is expensive.
Right?
The faux chicken bone. Okay, here it is. Well, okay. Ingredients. I got to see what the hell's in here. Of course, there it is. It's all virtue signaling here. We're good people. That's all they're letting us know. They don't tell us the freaking ingredients.
No, there it is. Products utilize wood.
Oh, waste is virtually eliminated when trees are used to make wood products. Bark, trims, and sawdust are used as energy source to help power wood production. Also, they're saying, okay, they use some of it for wood. For years, we've integrated wood safely into our food products. What the?
We have.
You just cocked your head like a German shepherd
right.
who heard a noise in the distance.
Right.
No, I'm not eating wood. God. I mean, wanting to get your fiber in is one thing, but holy crap. Okay, so so we know that this is basically compressed sawdust for the base. All right. I mean, but you don't eat the bones anyways, right? So I don't know if the vegans eat the bones or not. So I guess they just can't use a real bone and they wanted to, again, I don't understand why.
But it's for dogs. Isn't it?
Is it?
I hope so.
I don't think so, dude. Okay, well, let's just watch.
Hey guys, let's use faux bones to make plant-based vegan fried chicken. Using bean curd sheets, not chicken bouillon cubes. We're going to wrap the bean curd sheet around the faux bone. Wrap the rice paper for skin. Brush with just egg. Use slut dust for your seasoning. Use flour and cornstarch.
Yeah, saw that.
Deep fry it, and there you have it. Deep fried vegan chicken using faux bones.
So do you wash them and air dry them and reuse them?
I don't get it, dude. Like, I don't understand what. Again, here's my main problem with this. If you're opposed to chicken cruelty, why would you want to mimic its dead flesh, including its anatomy down to the point of the bones? If I was a vegan who truly hated animal cruelty, I would not want to mimic devouring its flesh.
Or
the shape of its anatomy.
Or if it's for health reasons, deep frying it in grease.
Right. So I don't know who this is. I mean, to me, this is only for people that love deep fried chicken, but mistakenly think that this is a healthier option or better for the environment. And therefore they end up here somehow. Man, I don't get it. I do not get it. So
sometimes I have to think that you're the mark. And these are just the all-time trolls.
Yeah, just to get me. Nobody actually eats this,
right?
Or wants it.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. Okay, so yeah, that was wacky. Okay, so this is kind of going to tie into our theme of truth and good advice, bad advice for the episode here. So I saw this and it kind of hit the mark a little bit. So somebody tweeted, OBGYN says lose some weight. Diabetologist, never heard that term, by the way, but
I think it's endocrinologist.
Oh, no, the second one.
I know. I think that's what it is.
Diabetologist. So somebody that helps them manage their diabetes, lose some weight. Endocrinologist, lose some weight. Cardiologist, lose some weight. Patient, how? All docs. Eat lots of fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and avoid meat and fats. Do cardio. That's what people are hearing, all the time.
But we've heard that for 50 years.
I know.
Or 30.
Exactly. Yep. And, no wonder people are confused or unable to actually achieve their goal.
So I had my Florida experience, similar to your Florida experience, except mine was at a rock concert.
Oh, you mean when I had the guys in the scooters in the line waiting to get in the checkout and like Mike Myers in the Austin Powers tunnel? Yes.
There was no scooter involved, but...
Okay, so refresh people. You mean just seeing tons of overweight people in the wild, in their natural habitat?
Yep. We went to a Shinedown concert on Wednesday night. Amazing show, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in trouble.
We're looking at the crowd.
Like airplanes, we're gonna have to start selling 2 tickets to one person.
Right. Or letting less people on because the overweight is going to be exceeded.
There was a dude next to me, bless his heart. He's a rocker, man. He knew every song by heart, and he was having a good time, living his best life.
Yep.
But thank God that it wasn't sold out and there was a seat between us.
Oh.
Because he was spilling over into the seat next to me.
Right.
And that was supposed to be my seat.
Oh, shit. So
I would have been like this the whole
You were able to move over one and give him a buffer seat.
Yeah, and he still spilled into that seat.
Holy shit.
And then, but it wasn't just him.
Oh, no.
It was all around us.
If you just stood there, in the corner of the dome or anywhere tons of people walk by and just put a hash mark down for every person that was, over 40%,
BMI?
Yeah.
Or 40 BMI?
Yeah, exactly. Or whatever percent body fat or whatever.
I hope it's a notebook.
It would be
you're going to need a couple
full
pages.
real quick.
Yeah.
Or if you could mark one, for everyone that was over 40% BMI or, body fat, and then one for everyone under, which side would get filled up first? It would be.
Well, and then because the counter of this is going to be, Josh and Dwayne, why don't you just mind your own business? Just leave them alone. Right. Who cares? What's it doing to you? It's doing everything to me.
Wow.
It's skyrocketing healthcare costs.
Dude, okay, pause right there for 1 second. I literally, at my work, I had a meeting yesterday of all of people that are under our same contract talking about the insurance rates.
Oh.
And okay, so it's, because we have to negotiate this contract yearly, right?
Yep.
And guess which way these costs are going? Not down.
Never down.
Never down. Guess who literally uses $0 of any insurance ever in my life? This guy, right? So I always get the highest deductible. Basically, I want the asteroid insurance. It kicks in if I get hit with an asteroid,
right? Because
I go to physical and I got my colonoscopy. It's all that's covered because and that's it.
It's preventative.
I don't use healthcare, so but so it's not me raising those rates because guess what? They're getting my $800 a month or whatever the premium is on my behalf.
Could be me because I get hurt.
And I'm never, ever using $1 of it. So it's all pure profit from me.
Right.
But in spite of that, the rates are creeping up every year. And I think they're going up, 8% this year or something, which is, of course, it's always above the normal, whatever the rate your salary's going up, which is like 2% or something, which is not even close to the average inflation rate, especially now, because what are we in 15% inflation right now? So, so your salary's down here, increasing at this amount. Inflation right now is up here, and health insurance is somewhere in the middle. But it's all bigger than your salary. Well, just your normal cost of living increases. But so yeah, I'm sitting there going, I wonder who's utilizing this, and I'm looking around the room, going, I have an idea. Who's utilizing these.
You don't have to guess.
Yeah. Diabetes or anything obesity related is one of the most expensive, chronic, progressive things that we have to deal with. the cost, so because once somebody is on, diabetic medication and, receiving care for any type of type 2 diabetes. And, I kind of classify that differently than type 1 because I look at type 2 as completely preventable and reversible, but that's not how the world looks at it.
In remission.
Or in remission, yeah. Well, to the point where you don't need any more medicine or medical care or using any healthcare dollars.
Right.
But if somebody gets type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic and enters that world, that's tons of money spent for the rest of their life. And then
Absolutely.
You add all that up in a big company, and that's a huge percentage of these, healthcare costs. So that is directly affecting me.
And the scary part is there's so many people that you'll talk to that utilize their insurance frequently, type 2, chronic disease, whatever.
Yep.
And they'll say, I might as well get something out of it.
Right.
Might as well I've been paid it in my whole life.
No, I don't want health insurance to be ever used by anyone. If possible, that's the optimal set of circumstances is nobody ever uses $1 of the health insurance.
Right. That would be like Rush Limbaugh used to call it, just in case.
Yeah. If you can hit that mark, it'd be like, dude, we nailed it.
Yeah.
Everybody stayed out of the hospital. I mean, if you get hit by a car, okay, that sucks. But to me, that's what health insurance is for.
Health insurance is not like Rush said, it's not a wellness plan. It's a just in case plan.
Yeah. If I get cancer or get hit by a car, that's when it's supposed to kick in. But what sucks is even then, just the way the whole thing is set up sucks. The RR deductible plan, I think it's like $67.50 is the deductible. It still costs like $1,000 a month, right? And that's basically, and it's doubled for families, so it's like $13,000. So you're gonna have $13,000 in out of pocket healthcare expenses before they'll pay $1 of it of anything.
Which is,
I'm not getting there unless I get in a car wreck.
Right.
So therefore, they'll never get $1. I'll never see $1 of that benefit.
But they need you.
Right. They need me because I'm the one supporting all the ones that use it.
Yep. The premise of the actuary table is they need you and us to buy health insurance, life insurance.
And never use it.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. They're not in a business to break even or have to be subsidized or subsidized. What the fuck's the word?
That's it. You just over enunciated.
Right. All of a sudden it just sounded weird. Like, what am I saying? But yeah, so, they're in a business to make a profit. So they have to take in more money than they spend. I mean, it's just
and that's where not to go down the political trail, but that's where the socialists want to go because it shouldn't be for profit.
Yeah, that's a whole, I'm not smart enough to know which would be the ultimate 50 years down the road. What would be, we look back now and go, yep, we chose correctly or we didn't. I don't know.
If you talk to majority of the Canadians, they'll tell you that they're better.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard both. I've heard people say, thank God I have this, benefit. But then other people say, it takes forever to get in line,
True, it does.
To get help and you're waiting. And then to me, when something's free, and this is just psychologically how I think people are wired, when something's free.
It's not free though.
Well, not free. No. Well, that actually makes my point.
Right.
They think it's free, but really they're paying a ton more in taxes to support that benefit. But when something's available to be used at no extra cost to you, because it's already been taken out, then I think people have a tendency to want to utilize it. Because then that's whole attitude of, well, I paid for it, I better get something out of it. Kind of like,
unless it's the $25 from Blue Cross for your anytime fitness membership, then they just go scan that key fob and walk away.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, that requires effort of them. But if there's some service left unused, they're gonna go get it.
Go get a check.
So
get something checked.
That's why I want people to be incentivized. The incentive structure should be such that you pay out, you're incentivized to only pay out when you have to. But, you also want to incentivize people to stay healthy so they don't have to pay those costs. Right? That's to me how it should be structured.
Yeah. And I'm okay with it moving forward, kind of how they are hinting around they were going to do with the COVID vaccine. I'm okay with them coming out.
I never have to pay anything because I never used $1 when I got COVID.
No, that's not it. they're testing the waters, saying that we're not going to charge you more on your health insurance premium if you're not vaccinated.
I don't like this line of questioning.
We're not going to charge you anymore if you are vaccinated, but the rate increases will apply to those who are unvaccinated.
But that's bullshit, because then that goes on that whole road of, okay, well then let me go to your house with a tape measure, and if your waist is over, your waist to height ratio is over 50%, then you get nothing.
But the problem
then you
is,
get charged triple.
The problem is that, remember the for-profit thing?
Yeah.
They say, fuck you, it's our company.
Right.
This is what we're doing.
I know, but I'm just saying, if they looked at the actual costs, overweight people cost them a shit ton more than any COVID person.
100%. And that's where it's going to go. So to not get political.
Yeah, because
skip
it's really,
that part.
Yeah.
Where they need to do is they need to come out in that little powwow you had meeting about the premiums.
Yep.
They need to come out and say, Josh, take this metabolic test. And when it comes back, you're not getting an increase.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Bob in the corner, you're getting 2.
Well, problem is then you're almost down to like, this guy's can't afford insurance, and that's where it's headed. Then is that guy's uninsurable because he's a fat ass.
Then we're Canada.
Yeah, and then this guy is in perfect health. He'll never use a dollar, and he's totally insurable. Then that gets sketchy, because then
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would. I like how it incentivizes people to hopefully get healthier, but it just feels kind of un-American. Like if you get in a wreck with a motorcycle without a helmet, they don't turn you away at Sanford, right? In the emergency room. You're still going to get treatment. Even though you could say that guy's an idiot. He rode without a helmet.
No, but go take a piss test when you get life insurance. And if you have heaters in your system, nicotine, you're paying more.
Heaters.
Period. You're paying more.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing that with healthcare now too.
Actually, when I got my life insurance, 25 years ago, the first time I got real adult big boy life insurance.
Like something your wife could actually live on.
Right. It was like AIDS test.
Oh, jeez.
All the stuff. They're they check the normal, they did the blood panel,
Mm-hmm.
the nicotine stuff, all that.
Yep.
Because they basically don't want to give you a big benefit unless you're probably not going to die.
Right.
Because again, they're trying to maintain maximum
Actuarial
profit.
tables. Yep.
That's all it is. So it's just,
Yeah, but they're doing it like Honeywell right now. I know, for an example, when you sign up for their health care, not life insurance, health insurance, you have to piss.
Right.
And if you have nicotine, you pay more.
Right. Yeah, that's a tough one. And
it might not be Blue Cross Blue Shield or whoever their underwriter or whoever their insurance company is,
mm-hmm.
but Blue Cross is saying, well, for nicotine in your system, Blue Cross might not charge you more, but we're going to pay less.
Right. See, I basically can't argue with that.
You can't.
But here's the problem. When they start going, ooh, his cholesterol's high because of all that red meat, now we're going to charge him more, and they're going to run tables based on what I think is faulty. Right? Even if I'm in shape.
Yep.
Low body fat percentage, muscular, can do lots of fitness, whatever. But because of my diet, I might have higher cholesterol, which to me is not a bad thing.
Sure.
Because the more I'm reading, cholesterol is the precursor to all these, growth hormones and body repair and everything good. But if they're running on with the old knowledge and they go, this guy eats a lot of red meat, jack his rate up. That's what I worry about, is when they start making these determinations.
No. And you're right. You need cholesterol, but that wouldn't show up. What's showing up on the lipid panel is built up cholesterol, not the dietary cholesterol.
Right. Oh, no, exactly. But what I'm saying is I don't think that's a bad thing. All the guys in the carnivore.
Any blockage is bad.
If it's blockage. But all the guys in the carnivore groups always have elevated, or most of them have elevated cholesterol.
Sure.
And their doctor tries to put them on a statin, and then, it's round and round, like my doctor said the same to me. But, if they have the super low coronary calcium artery scans, whatever that CAC scan, they got zeros on those, which is like a perfect.
Yep.
But they still are getting shit from their doctors. So that's where the discrepancy is. Are they going to, we can all agree smoking's bad, but can we all agree that red meat is bad? Well, we don't think that. but the majority of the medical science does say that. And as everybody moves towards the plant-based thing, speaking of that.
Because it does reduce cholesterol.
Well, if you go from SAD.
Right.
Especially.
Right.
But
No. BS. I smell our next challenge. If you went plant-based, your cholesterol will go down.
Oh, yeah. No, I think you're probably right. Yeah. But I just think I don't think that's a good thing. The more I read about cholesterol, I think it's like the building blocks of everything. And the way it was described to me by Dr. Ken Berry, who's a great follow on YouTube. He's a surgeon, and he's a big proponent of keto and carnivore. He said it's like blaming the fire trucks because you pull up to a fire and you see fire trucks there every time, and you blame them when they're not the cause. They're there to repair. Right. That's how he equates fire trucks to the cholesterol molecules. He's saying they're there doing the repair, but since they're there every time people have damage, people look at it like, they're the cause when they're not the cause.
Yeah, but I don't think that the question is if you have a heart attack and your widowmaker is you hear this story all the time. My widowmaker was 70% blocked.
Right, and could have been
what's it blocked with?
Right. Well,
it's plaque. It's cholesterol.
The old school people say that, and then
well, no, it is. You can't argue it because the guy dies and they do an autopsy and they pull it out and they said, oh, here.
Oh, right.
Cholesterol.
Well, what they say, what the pro meat advocates will say is that it's scarring caused by inflammation caused by other dietary things,
causing it to get hung up.
Yep.
And back up.
The inflammation and the scarring caused by not meat. So that's a whole other rabbit hole. Yeah. But anyways, I was reading this article with Jared Leto, who's in Men's Health this month. But he's in good shape. He's 50. He
is.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But one thing he says, they ask him about if he eats cheat meals, and he says, I have a very strict diet, plant-based, and I also do a lot of fasting, but I love everything Italian, pizzas and pasta. So, you're seeing a lot of this plant-based stuff creep into the, and he's not, ripped, super like muscular
but
or anything,
but overly skinny either.
No. He looks in shape. I mean, you can't argue with that.
Yep.
And actually pulled up.
You know what he doesn't look like though? Built.
Right. I did pull up some shots of him. So, you can't really complain if you're looking like that guy.
How do you explain this to your wife if she looks at your browser? It's work, baby.
What's scary is he's the same age he's older than you and the same age as me. Right. That's freaking scary. I mean, it's not, he was just blessed with good genetics.
Well, he was when he was 15.
He looked really, he's always looked so super. Yeah. Right. But, you look at this and you're like, okay, if he's eating plant-based and he's getting that, you can't argue with that.
Nope.
I mean, that looks good.
Yep.
So whatever he's doing, and he's playing more, was it Morpheus or some Marvel character?
Oh, he is.
So he got kind of jacked he got more jacked than usual for that. But it's just interesting. So, he's claiming he's plant-based and
I like your disclaimer. Claiming.
Well, you just never know.
No, you don't.
You don't know.
You don't know if it's an agenda.
Yeah, or if he's got the whole, the doctors with the, supervising him with all the bullshit.
Right.
But it's funny because he even says in here, every morning I drink a gallon of salt water. Say that in the article, Jared Leto says. And then everyone's going to drink a gallon of salt water in the morning, which unfortunately will make them shit their pants. So he's just, screwing with the writer,
Yep.
But his point is that people will see him as a role model and try to emulate what he's doing,
right?
Which is completely true. And we're going to get into some influencer type discussions here in a bit. Anyways, back to the Heart Association. So I saw this article, and it's just 10 years ago, this is a organization, the American Heart Association. I mean, they have that complete authority thing. It's like that's who you would go to if you wanted information on any of this stuff. Okay, so then they're talking about, and I can't argue with anything in here. It's just when I read this stuff, I just wonder like what people are going to take from it. So it talks about this guy who had 2 heart attacks. Okay, I think he was eating kind of the standard American diet. Had one at 33, one at 37, and what I want to talk about was how they claim he bettered himself afterwards. Okay, so let's see. He stopped lifting heavy weights, fearful it would strain his heart. He was afraid to sleep because he worried he might not wake up. He didn't want to leave the house, self-conscious that people knew around town and would ask him about his heart attack. Okay. So what did he, so we talked, okay. While recovering from the first heart attack, he vowed to get in better shape, dropped 20 pounds from 195 to 175. Okay. But then he became less active during COVID, gained the 20. He lost and gained 30 more. Between his first heart attack in 2015 and second, plaque had built up on his arteries. His blood pressure and cholesterol levels were elevated. After his second heart attack, he received 2 more stents. This time, doctors told him he would need to make some serious lifestyle changes. Okay, so then as soon as he returned home, Alex started a plant-based diet. There it is again, and stopped drinking almost entirely. He started walking, then running. By the holidays, Alex had dropped 50 pounds. He'd gained, returning to 175. So they're making it seem like, the plant-based was that was the key. He needed to do that.
Well,
and start exercising,
So now if he lives to 70, are they wrong?
Right. I don't know. But my argument is it's because he dropped the weight.
For sure. The weight's everything.
Right. But they're making it seem like it was the plant-based diet.
Remember the story about the grandpa? Everyone has the grandpa that drank whiskey and ate bacon.
Right.
And smoked a carton of cigarettes every other day.
Yep.
And lived to 103. Mm-hmm. Weighed 110 pounds his whole life.
Wasn't fat. Yep.
Bingo.
Exactly.
Weighed 110 pounds his whole life.
Yep.
There's no stress on his organs.
Right.
Didn't matter what the fuck he ate.
Yep.
But
and plus I don't think the bacon's bad. So.
Well, but if you're fat.
Right.
Well, the bacon is bad if you're making a sandwich out of it.
Right.
And they did.
If it's a plant-based.
They did.
Sandwich.
They ate bread.
Oh, yeah.
Pancakes.
Yeah, nobody avoided. Well, actually, it's funny because it's funny how the focus on grains, like if you look at what people ate, I don't know, 100 years ago, they didn't really eat a lot of that. It was just, a lot more potatoes and meat and stuff. But
meat was a rarity.
Well, if you could afford it.
Right.
If you were,
off. If you could kill it.
Yeah, so it's just interesting reading this stuff and just what they choose to focus on, what they kind of infer is the silver bullet, is the solution. So if you're reading this, you're like, well, time to go plant-based and start walking.
And again, back to, you sort of hit it when you said, yeah, from the standard American diet, but plant-based and walking is better than processed and sitting on your ass.
Yeah. Yep. Well, here's another thing too. Beth, who loves to cook, is also learning to create dishes the entire family likes while still sometimes serving meat to the children. Her go-to dish becomes Buddha bowls filled with hummus, quinoa, and marinated vegetables. See,
that sounds good, actually.
It might taste good, but
that's what I mean. That's good for you.
As long as there's lots of meat in there. I don't know. It's just, again, you just don't, you would normally look at this organization and go, well, they're the go-to, they're the gold standard.
Right.
And just from what I've learned over the past few years, I just don't believe that anymore. I think you gotta figure things out for yourself. All right. Enough of that shit. Let's get into some of this. Okay. So you posted this. Now we're going to go through some of your most recent posts. We're going to analyze and defend. Okay.
The GOAT.
Okay. So this is from Rich Froning, who's one of the CrossFit guy who won a bunch before Matt Fraser, right?
Yep.
Okay. So he says, in training, you listen to your body. In competition, you tell your body to shut up. That's good.
I love it.
So that deserves a
right. Because
explain.
if you were in, okay, say I got a little, if I was doing handstand push-ups and while training, I got a little twinge of maybe a strained muscle. Oh, shit, I better keep an eye on that. So I'd probably stop doing the handstand push-ups and I'd probably go stretch it and go get a massage, maybe some myofascial.
Because if you prevent injury, then if you don't prevent injury, then you're going to derail everything.
Right.
So during the training, you have to try to make sure you don't injure yourself.
Exactly. But then now, that weekend, I have a competition, and my shoulder does the same thing during handstand push-ups. I say, shut up. And I shake it out. And
Shut up, shoulder.
I jump back down and start doing more handstand push-ups.
Yeah, because then who cares? This is what you prepared for.
Exactly.
Now is when you just leave it all on the field.
Yep. It's like a football player twisting his ankle lightly during pre-training.
That reminds me of,
camp.
Speaking of that, did you see, okay, two examples. Did you see the Final Four championship? Okay, well, there was one, they were down to like the last 4 seconds or 10 seconds or something, and it was like a 3-point differential. And one player totally rolled his ankle.
Yes.
And he was he was like a big star on the team. He'd gotten
UNC.
like 18 points or whatever. And then on the returning on defense, he was like hopping on one foot, but he was like, you know,
And the
I'm not going out unless they drag me out.
Kansas guy pulled up and
Yeah. And then they stopped the game and they pulled him out. But, you know,
to shoot. Yeah.
he was like,
His teammates were pissed at him for refusing to take advantage of it.
oh, because they don't.
Because they're like,
dude.
go!
Yeah, right.
And it was a close game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, I ain't going to chump him like that.
I can see both sides.
I can.
I mean, sportsmanship wise, okay, true, but it's national championship. Let's get another basket.
Exactly. But at the same time, I'm like, if I'm going to win this chip and be the world fucking champion, I want your best game.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, well, so-and-so, their star got hurt and you scored on nobody.
Right.
Having that little fucking douchebag asterisk over your history. I'd be like, no.
Doesn't it? See, I mean, like I said, I can see both sides, but if I was their coach, I would have said he should have went and dunked if he could or took the fast break.
I see, and here's what I question myself and my mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Can I turn it off?
Right.
Could I have turned it off and pulled up?
Yeah, you just got to pounce. You know, you just go.
It's like, that he's not even guarding me.
It's an
I got to go score.
Opportunity. Yeah, right. I mean, and I don't think that player would have faulted them for it.
No.
They, like you said, they might have used it as an excuse, but shit
All
happens.
I can say in hindsight, that player that pulled up is lucky they won.
Right. No shit. That brings up another
and
point.
And they won by 2.
Right. It brings up another point. Like, this happens a lot in high school stuff where the teams are sometimes mismatched.
Yep.
When they run up the score, you know, I'm of two minds about that also. Because on one hand, you're like, God, why are they just crushing them? And then I also think for the losing team, like if they run up like 50-0 or something, and they just keep just destroying.
Yeah.
But then I kind of go, well,
get better.
Stop them then. Yeah. And I think that's actually great character building for the team that gets destroyed. Mm-hmm. Like if you get, totally donutted.
You don't never want to feel like that again.
Right. And that might suck horribly, but I think that's a great character building
Bill
experience.
Belichick said it in the NFL.
Did he?
The Patriots got accused of running up the score, and he said, if you don't
in
like
the NFL,
this, he goes, you don't like
come
it,
on.
Stop us.
Right. And at that level, you're all making millions of dollars.
Right.
Shit, quit your whining.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. But the problem is usually they're so mismatched. Like in high school football, if it's 50-0 at halftime, the scrubs are going in for the second half, and it's still going to end up 65-0.
Well, yeah, right. That's really embarrassing. But
yeah,
it's like you said, get better. I mean, I think that's
yeah.
I don't think you need in sports. I mean, the results are the results, and you need to protect people from that.
Yep.
Okay, let's look at this next one here. Your body can stand almost anything. This is kind of related to the last one.
Yep.
It's your mind that you have to convince.
Perfect example is when I used to run, I still do, but I've always before CrossFit, I ran the Fargo half marathon. Trotted, jogged, ran, walked, whatever. I finished the Fargo half marathon like 6, 7, 8 times, whatever it is. And before I started CrossFit, I'd always have this routine over the course of 13.1 miles. And I'd be like, whoa. Hamstring's getting a little tight. My heart rate's getting up there a little bit. I better pull back because I got a long way to go yet. I don't want to
conserve yourself.
Don't want to blow my wad at mile 4.
Yeah.
So I'd pull back and
leave some in the tank.
And what's the key word? I got to rest. Rest. I got to rest here. I'm going to stop at the water aid station and drink some Powerade and stand and don't maybe stretch my calves a little bit. take that drink, grab a Jolly Rancher from the nice lady handing those out for some carbs, and then I'll be on my way.
Right.
Well, then enter CrossFit in my life, and we know how CrossFit workouts are.
Just go balls out.
Yeah. So what?
If you die, you die.
Right, exactly. And so what CrossFit taught me was that very next marathon I ran following starting CrossFit, I didn't train running at all. I didn't run 1 mile. I just ran the race from just doing CrossFit. And I PR'd by like 10 minutes.
Because you weren't thinking conservatively? Because
I went out and I started running. I'm like, oh, I'm tired. No, I'm not. This is not tired. I used to think this was tired.
Gotcha.
But I am not tired.
So you'd pushed the line back.
Way back.
Right.
But it was all between my ears.
Yeah.
I wasn't really that much fitter. My mind had convinced me that I can do more.
Right.
I can withstand this.
And you're willing to endure more of the discomfort.
Right. Yeah.
Without having to stop and thinking, oh, this is bad. I need to slow down.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Right. Stop, because I need comfort. I need a safe place and a blanket, and maybe I just need to pull out of the race because my hamstrings are sore.
Right. Yeah, it makes you wonder how many people in a marathon don't finish but could have.
A lot.
You know, what percentage?
Lot.
Yeah, yep. I bet it's a way more than.
It's also, even take that a step further, how many people don't even try to do one and could?
Right. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because they
just think it's not even a possibility.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they mind fuck themselves so bad that they just never try. Do something great once. Do something great in relative to you.
Yeah.
So if you've never even ran around the block and you do a half marathon, that's fucking great.
Yeah. I mean, you're pushing that line.
Yeah.
Big time.
So I challenged people, and I posted that a long time ago too. I said, this year, it was around the first of the year, and I said, this year, challenge yourself physically. Sign up for a race. Sign up for a triathlon. Whatever. Sign up for a bodybuilding competition.
Like we always say, that time's going to go by.
Right.
So would you rather look back and go, hey, I actually accomplished some shit, or I'm exactly the same as I was, or worse? Because we know you're either improving or getting worse. There is no static.
Right. And you kind of don't apply because you post your shit on the internet and everyone can see it. But people are like, oh, saw your post, I was kind of offended. I push myself every day. I just don't need to tell anybody about it. Yeah, you fucking do need to tell people about it.
You're just bragging unnecessarily.
Yeah, you don't need to. You need to tell people about it. You need to go, I can't run around the block, and I'm going to run a half marathon. And you need to go out and actually do the half marathon and have your score on the fucking internet so anyone can look it up.
Right. Yeah.
Expose yourself.
Yeah. Well,
just let your guard down.
And hopefully it helps with that accountability.
Believe me, it does.
Because then you're like, they're going to, I got to do better because everybody's going to see this.
Right.
I just saw a gal that I know from doing real estate stuff just today. It was funny. It's kind of similar financially, not physically, but she posted what she's earned this first quarter.
Oh.
Like, here's what I got from investing. Here's what I got from my stock trades. Here's what I made at my job, and here's my goal for the year was this. And then I'm actually on pace to exceed it,
Good for
so
her.
that makes it easier to post, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
But it was still like very, very transparent. I'm like, wow.
Expose the vein.
That's crazy. I mean,
yeah.
Not many people say, here's what I made at my job this quarter. Just putting it out there.
Salespeople will talk about it.
Yeah,
salespeople talk about it all the time.
That's a dick measuring contest.
It is. But yeah, that's what I'm saying to people. Just tap the vein. Here's my blood. Right. Look at it. It's red, just like yours. And I did this stuff.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I think people will be surprised at the amount of support they get.
Absolutely.
That it was maybe unexpected. If they say they're good, or they'll find like-minded people that maybe want to participate with them.
That's how I got started.
Yeah. Or, at least cheer them on.
Right.
All right. Let's look at this next one here. This is a good one here. Life has a way of providing you with plenty of legitimate reasons you can't go to the gym. Don't make up your own. Yes.
And JC, she fucking nailed it. But I'm good at it.
I'm so good at it.
And I get it. And here's my struggle is, hey, I didn't see you at the gym yesterday. Where were you? I just wasn't feeling it.
Ooh.
Okay. Next day. Where were you the next day? Oh, kid fell and hit their head and cut their head open, and I had to be in the ER all night, and my wife was working, and she wouldn't answer her phone, and she was out of town, and the health insurance card wouldn't go through. And it's
My house burned down.
My house burned down. Yeah. Yeah. My house
tells me you
burned down.
probably did make it to the gym, though.
I did. I needed it.
Because you're like, I need to work out some aggression
It's
here.
therapy. So now you can't go because life said, fucker, here's a curveball.
Yep.
Good luck.
There's enough actual reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
And life will always give you plenty of those.
Yep.
You don't need to make them up.
Yeah, don't add them. If you're going to miss 4 days in, of 6 months because of unexpected shit, don't make it 8.
Or 48.
Or 4. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yep.
But it's
Have you seen that? Well, and I'm guessing that people have a way of kind of weeding themselves out. Like those people that repeatedly don't show up, eventually you just don't see them anymore, right?
well, because eventually they cross over that threshold of now I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, because now I can't go back after 3 weeks of not
Right.
being there.
Right.
Even though no one would care.
No one would give two shits. They'd be, hey, welcome back.
That's one thing that's funny is people care way less about what you're doing than you think they do.
Yet we care so much about what they think about us.
Yeah. The amount, if you ask people, okay, I'm going to do this, what do you think people are going to care? And then that number is way high. What you think the public is going to think versus if you polled them what they actually think, how much they think about you. It's just completely inverted.
Yep.
So, and once you realize that,
Life, it's liberating.
it is, because then you're like, well, nobody cares what I'm doing. So I'm just going to do what I want.
And then people who do care, I need to do it for them.
or
So
just
I need to share it
or I'll listen to them if they're disagreeing.
Yeah.
If they're going to think negatively about what you're doing, you can, take that in and either agree or disregard. I mean, you have that right.
And you know what people don't see on social media? And I learned the same thing that you're talking about a long time ago. And I have zero fucks to give now of what people think. Obviously.
Right.
People are like, yeah, you do. You care. I'm like, if I cared, I'd stop.
Right.
I don't care. But the reason I do care about my being vocal and frontal on social media is because what those people say, you're just bragging, you're doing it for yourself, you look at me, look at my posts. They don't see the direct messages I get saying, you saved my life.
Right.
I'm down 50 pounds. I'm not on meds anymore.
Yep.
Thank you for all that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And when they say thank you for all that you do, they're talking about fucking social media.
Right.
Because that's the only exposure they have to me.
Yeah, that's the only place they would know. They would see it. Yep.
And that's why I do it.
Well, and especially social media, internet stuff in general. I mean, it's just such a shit show that, you could put sky is blue and then you'd get fuck you. No, it
Right,
isn't.
right.
I mean, so it's just a place for people to just go off unnecessarily regardless.
And fair or not, in the last 18 months, maybe a year more, 18 months, those people are gone. I've nuked all those people from my social media. I just don't have time for that.
Exactly.
If your goal in life is to argue with me, then I'm cutting you loose.
No, you're not.
You don't argue. You just make smart ass comments.
Yeah. So, right. So I think it's you just
How many people read that and said, "Fuck," and went to the gym?
Yeah, if it was anyone.
If it was one, it's worth it.
Worked. Yeah, exactly.
If it's even one that thinks about it next time they don't want to go, it was worth it.
Yep. Right. And anyone that's like, fuck that guy, then who cares?
I'll probably end up deleting them from Facebook anyway.
Exactly. All right. Let's look at another one here. Okay. Now this one's about coaching and its value. Okay. So this guy named Mike Milner says, knowing what you need to do and not doing it is exactly what coaching is for. You don't hire a coach to simply know more. You hire a coach to do what you've been avoiding or unable to stay consistent with on your own. That one's huge because
so big. Yeah, he nailed it.
Because there's no, and I learned this in when I went to a real estate seminar one time. A guy at the front of the room who was obviously a coach. We paid money to be there.
Yep.
At a seminar. He said, "There is no knowledge gap. You can search, you can find everything I'm going to tell you over the next 2 days. You could have found this on your own. You don't need me.
Yeah.
Or you look at Dave Ramsey, right? The financial guy. He says, I
don't have credit card debt. Ooh, brilliant.
But he does a 3-hour a day,
Right.
5 days a week radio show saying that same shit over and over again because, but it's nothing revolutionary. He didn't make any of it up. All he did is package it nice and just drill people.
Just like Ryan Holiday with Stoicism.
Right.
He didn't invent Stoicism.
No. And I don't know who that is, but I'm
What?
gonna look that guy up.
Oh my God. He's the best. You need his books.
Who is it?
Ryan Holiday.
Let's look at him.
He wrote The Daily Stoic.
Like RYAN.
Yep.
HO.
There, first one.
Okay.
He wrote The Daily Stoic. The Obstacle is the Way.
Okay. RyanHoliday.net. Trust Me, I'm Lying. That's a good title. Oh, yep. There it is. The Obstacle's Way. Ego's the Enemy.
The Ego's Enemy is great. The
Okay,
Daily Stoic.
Journal. The Daily Stoic.
The Daily Stoic I like because he just goes through it. And, it's Marcus Aurelius and
Yep. Awesome.
yeah, it's.
I gotta check him out.
I have paperbacks and Audible. And his podcast, appropriately named The Daily Stoic, is really good too.
Yeah, awesome. I'll put the link to his Amazon.
He's been on Rogan a few times.
Awesome. Yeah, so
His who discovered him and actually helped publish him is total brain fart. I'm a huge fan too, and I can picture his face, and I can't think of his name. He wrote a book too. He wrote the 4-Minute Work
Tim
Week.
Ferriss?
Yes.
Tim Ferriss. Okay.
Yep.
The 4-Hour Work Week.
Yeah, 4-Hour Work Week. He actually that's 4-Minute Abs, I think.
Why not 3?
No. But yeah, Tim Ferriss is the one that actually did the might have been The Daily Stoic or Ego is the Enemy. But
awesome. Anyway, so yeah, the point is these guys aren't reinventing.
No.
They're not the inventors of this. Dave Ramsey's not the inventor of how to get rid of consumer debt. He just is there to help with consistency and to go, is that really what you want to do? And just kind of being the dad, when you're trying to keep people in line. There is no knowledge gap. Everybody who has access to a phone can find out pretty much everything about everything.
right.
I mean, everyone
Right now.
Yeah, everyone knows. Well, but as we pointed out, they may not know what's the correct path, though. That's like that's really to me what a coach is for. So in the fitness and nutrition space, there's
wade through the weeds.
there is 2 pieces to it. There is the consistency piece and the I'm surrounded by all this advice. How do I?
Yeah.
There's 360 degrees. Which direction do I go? So I think that there's twofold reasons in the nutrition and fitness space of why somebody would hire a coach. But even in real estate or finance stuff or anything, it's just, keeping people honest.
I laugh when you say that because here's the worst sentence that a nutrition or fitness coach can hear. Since I started working with you, I've been reading a lot.
You're like, oh Jesus, we're gonna have to shoot down some myths here.
Yeah, this just went uphill quickly, and I got a load of shit on my back now.
Yeah, because all of a sudden they're coming in like, actually,
I need to be plant based.
They're the actually guy.
Because I read the
Jared Leto. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this guy's 50 and he's in great shape, so let's be like him.
Yeah. What do you think I should be doing this? No. Why not? Because I fucking said so.
Yep.
If you knew, you'd do it. That's to summarize that.
If you've been reading a lot and you were doing this all on your own, you wouldn't have reached out to me in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you could have done it, you would have done it.
And I am.
And what's that quote? Wait, hang on. What's that quote? To know and not do is to not know. Is that it? It's like an ancient Confucius say kind of thing.
Yep.
To know and to not do is to not know. Basically saying, if you know that what's the right path and you don't act on it, then you might as well not know, because it's the same result. I can look that quote up now.
I'm thinking of a different one, and I like it. It's something to the effect of being able to read and not is worse than not being able to read. Something like that.
Here it is.
To know and not to do is to
To
not
know and to not do is to not know. Stephen Covey.
Covey.
Yep. There we go. I like it.
I do too.
It wasn't Confucius.
It might have been.
But yeah,
Just
well,
like
right.
with
Yeah, he might have just
Stoicism.
repackaged it. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But yeah, that's the essence there. And I used to be, believe it or not, and I think, not trying to toot my own horn, but toot toot. I was, and I think this is what makes me a good coach, is I was that guy.
Right.
I was that guy. And someone just absolutely undressed me on social media. It was a founder of Stronger You. They're a nutrition coaching company.
Okay.
And him and I were friends on Facebook. And I used to just troll him hard because I was a skeptic
Right.
by nature.
Yep.
You know, I was like, I did this by myself. You guys are charlatans. This is just your snake oil salesman.
Right.
I did it myself.
Yep.
Anyone can do it themselves. And I used to, and then he'd post shit all the time. And I'd like right underneath it, I was like, oh yeah, because people need to spend thousands of dollars with you to be told how to eat broccoli and chicken
Right.
breast.
Yep.
And the one time that it just was like a 2x4 across my face where he completely schooled me was he said, I find your ignorance astonishing that's what you think we actually do.
Right.
And that was my like,
Did that shut you up?
yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Cause I'm like, well, yeah, but wait, maybe I don't know what they
Right.
do.
Yeah. You know, it's funny too. Every high performer that I've learned from, I was out, and I don't know why I'm continually surprised by this.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what they have? They typically have someone coaching them,
Oh, for every good coach has a coach.
which,
100%.
but for my brain, I was like, nah, like,
No, because the
I'm
master
still constantly surprised.
Right.
So I was at the real estate thing, and it's like, oh, when I talk to I'm like, well, you're,
Yeah. Right.
you know, even you've said that too, because you have a guy, right? And
Yeah,
I'm like,
couple.
huh? And that,
And a girl.
I don't know why I'm constantly surprised by this, but it seems like that's very indicative of the people at that level.
Yep.
So, you know, I'm all about not reinventing the wheel, replicate what people who have done it are doing. And it seems like that's a trait a lot of them
And
have.
you know why? It's for me personally, and it's probably for a lot of them too. For me personally, it's because I teach this. I help people. I coach people through this. Rephrase. I don't teach anybody anything unless they want to learn.
Like you said, yeah, the knowledge is all out there.
Yep. But I walk people through this on a daily basis. When I'm done with that and I get home or I go to the gym, dude, I just want someone to tell me what to do.
Prescriptive, be prescriptive.
Just
yeah.
what should I eat? What should I do? How much should I do? How much should I eat? How much should I rest? Just tell me.
Yep.
It's like the mechanic coming home from Gateway Chevrolet and then having to work on his wife's car.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Someone else fix my car.
Yep.
Tell me where to take it.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, you need that. It's hard. Well, the other piece is it's hard to look at yourself objectively.
It is.
So
Yep.
even though you can look at someone else and go, well, obviously this, and this, but yourself, you're too close. You can't
Right.
see it
Right.
from the outside.
Right.
So you need somebody else to analyze you.
My legs are strong enough, and they're like, no, not even close.
Yeah, not like from the back. Your calves are pretty small, bro.
Right.
You know, you can't see that.
I went to a competition last Saturday at CrossFit Fargo, and I was wearing shorts, and a gal I hadn't seen in a while walked up behind me and tapped me on my shoulder. She said, "Are you trying to be a leg model now?" And I just went,
Excellent.
"That's like you're doing gigs and people say shit." I was like,
Dude, I got another one.
"You did?"
I wasn't going to bring this up because I didn't want to be
Oh, fuck it.
The bragger?
Just be.
the bragger guy. Let's see if I can find it here.
So yeah, no, while you're looking, I can talk about how I really, really, really have been.
This is
focusing on my
completely
legs.
unsolicited. The lady I was dancing with said you have nice biceps.
And then now your sleeves are getting shorter and shorter.
Oh, I haven't worn sleeves at a gig in about 8 months.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Attaboy. Love it.
Oh shit. Anyways,
awesome.
talk about the leg thing.
Oh, I've been crushing my legs. I've been doing lots of just different types of training, just all different types of approaches.
Right.
High rep, low rep, high weight, low weight, fast twitch, slow twitch, type 2, type 1 muscle fibers.
Well, you know the saying, what you focus on grows.
Right.
Okay, we got one more before we wrap
And
it up here.
that's what's holding me back. My CrossFitting is my legs.
Right. Okay. Here's a kind of frontal one here. Unpopular opinion. Your favorite Instagram influencer didn't get yoked, jacked, or that poppin', what is that, booty?
Peach, yeah, booty, booty butt.
That poppin' booty butt doing mountain climbers on a yoga mat in their basement. They lifted compound movements in as many variations as possible, and it was heavy AF. Oh, and he/she probably ate 2,500 to 3,000 calories plus a day. Everything you've been told is a lie. Dewey, why are you so mean?
Because I hate it. I flip through Instagram and I see these influencers and they're just yoked.
Right.
And it's like usually some dude.
Yeah.
And he looks like an NFL linebacker with 4% body fat. And he's on the ground like doing mountain climbers.
Like this is
That's what you did.
This is how I got here.
Shut up, dude. You're deadlifting 600 pounds. And you're juicing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People are lied to daily on social media. And
it's usually always in pursuit of commerce.
well, he wants to say, well, I want to just do that in my basement.
It's either to sell the whatever, the mat he's on or the supplement that, jar that he's holding or the clothes or whatever.
See, and that's the
And that's the skeptical piece that you were before when you were attacking other people.
Yep.
Yep. It's to try to get at those people who are using, misleading messaging.
Right.
Because they really would show West Side Barbell and go, here's where he really went.
Right.
Just some old shitty ass.
Saw Louis, yeah. Well, right.
Yeah, R.I.P. by the way.
Yep,
but yeah, it's so funny because I saw a post of theirs on, I think it was Instagram the other day. They had an old shitty squat rack, right? Just tore up.
It's like
didn't even have J hooks.
Like Clubber Lang in the basement.
Yeah, it didn't even have J hooks. It had like bolts. Like just literally bolts, like hardened bolts, like welded in or something. Yep. And that's just,
so they hung the bar.
Yeah. I mean, they don't, it's like, no. And it said this has been here for 38 years. That's what it's
awesome.
You're like, yeah, you don't need shiny new, what's that stuff they put on the coating, the whatever coating.
Powder coat.
Yeah.
Powder coat.
Yeah. There's kind of a name for it, but it's,
that's it.
Fancy shit.
Powder coat.
And then all these, it's like, has like a cocksite or something. I don't know, some weird word, but it's just to make it sound more expensive.
Okay.
And it's all like orange, or it's
it's
red, like you can get barbells.
Corot.
Yeah. So like, yeah.
Yep.
And I see this in the home gym.
PRX does it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Line.
Right. Which you can't blame them because people want to spend the money. It's like
green
take the money.
And orange.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take their money. Why not? But then you look at West Side Barbell where the guys are like strong as hell.
Yeah, and it's just a
shitty ass destroyed one with a bolt and not even J hooks.
Yep, the bearings are shot.
So you don't want to get so wrapped up in that equipment thing that what matters is are you moving the weight or not whether it's like powder coated orange or pink or whatever.
That was a perfect segue because I was listening to, go figure, a Shinedown song. And I texted to my wife, to Mel, the lyrics. And, we're both really into fitness and she's starting her business now, which is a nightmare. We'll save that for next week. But and she's stressed. And she's like, I don't know this or I don't, should we? And then I'm driving down the road and the song by Shinedown, Get Up, comes on. Mm-hmm. And there's the part where he says, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. You just got to keep moving.
Right. Yep.
And goosebumps. Mm-hmm. I was like, I had to send her that right away because it's so true. Mm-hmm. Don't get caught up in the flashy equipment. Right. You could have bolts for J-hooks. Mm-hmm. Just fucking move. Yeah, just do it.
In my basement, not that I have I do have a PRX rack, but I bought a cheap barbell off Amazon and I just bought the minimum amount of weights I needed. And as I add more, as I need them, I'll add more, Mm-hmm. But I started with a pair of adjustable 50-pound dumbbells That was it.
Yep.
Just so I could go from 10 to 50.
Yeah.
And
right.
You can, I would argue that my workouts were just as productive then.
For sure.
As, now that I have the
nice you're doing the work
rack and everything. Yeah. What matters is you're moving the weight.
Yep.
And, a lot of this stuff is just purely for commerce purposes.
I really, really, really want to use you as a test subject, though, for...
See if I get a mint green barbell while my biceps get bigger?
No. I'm going to allow you to spend the next maybe 6 months to maybe this time next year making your newbie gains still.
Yeah.
And then you're going to come with me to CrossFit and then watch you take that next step. Because I have
He's
a friend
salivating.
I have a friend who's super, super, super fit, like competitive, moderately competitive on the worldwide stage.
No.
Well, he said, fuck it, I'm hiring this special trainer and I'm going to take it really serious this year. He hired this special trainer, spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on rowers, bikes, GHD, PRX rack, Rogue stuff. Put a heater in his garage, put down rubber mats. They don't even park the car in there.
Right.
It's a legit
It's only
gym.
for gym.
And he did this programming and he got really strong. And he was relentless. He'd send me videos daily, snatching heavy and pull-ups and just crushing it. And he actually went down this year in regards to CrossFit.
What's the...
It's the group aspect.
Right.
It's that group aspect. It's being next to each other.
Just drives you a little more.
Grinding out that last 5%, but that's where the growth happens.
You remind me of a perfect example of that. My buddy Steve goes to CrossFit with you. He works at
Steve Moore?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He works at
Steve's awesome.
At the school district with me.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I was he found our podcast.
Oh.
And he's like, yeah, Duey was just the other day when I couldn't get a rep up. He came over and yelled at me.
I'm the designated yeller.
Old yeller.
I'm not good at much at CrossFit.
Well, he's older than you, but
yeah,
I think he's like 50 something. But
I think he's 52.
But that's a great
52.
example of that
community
aspect, because
absolutely.
he was like, I don't think I can get it, and then you yelled at him, and then he finished the reps or whatever.
Yes, don't put that down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was
That's true, though.
A perfect, unsolicited report. You didn't tell me about that you knew him. He came up to me and said that was what you did. So.
And guess what? If I didn't do that or he was in Josh's basement, he would have just been done.
Yeah, right.
That's where he would have quit.
Yep. No, I agree.
That extra 10%, that's where the growth happens.
Yep, that's right.
Or the hurt. if you get sloppy and lazy, you gotta.
It's either where the bicep gets bigger or it snaps.
Right.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Roll the dice. You only live once.
Got to break some eggs, make a cake.
All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up there. Make sure you send emails to info@fitandfurious.com. Watch on YouTube. You can see all the stuff we're looking at when we're talking about all this. You want to see vegan fried chicken, don't you? Watch on YouTube.
That's gross.
Listen anywhere audio podcasts are found, Apple, Spotify, Google, etc. Please subscribe, rate, review, and share. Support the show at furiousmerch.com. And we will see you next week.